Hello, my friends. This is Teacher Danny. Welcome to another English class. Today we're going to review about simple past, how to make sentences using simple past, all right? So let's get started. How to use it, the simple past. Remember that the usage is to describe simple actions that occurred in the past and didn't continue. So we use simple past not for speaking about emotions or feelings or adjectives. We use it to express, for example, dreams, um, projects that we had, something like this, or the last vacations, right? So let's speak about the most important features or characteristics. Remember that in simple past we have regular verbs, ed, and irregular verbs, which are some verbs that change in the past forms. The second one is that we use the auxiliary didn't for negative phrases or sentences and did for the questions. So we can say that did is the past of do and does in the simple present. Number 3, for negatives and questions, we use the verb in present. Be careful with this. Okay? Number 4, we use sometimes expressions like last week, la semana pasada, last month, el mes pasado, last year, el año pasado, 2 years ago, hace 2 años, yesterday, ayer, or the day before yesterday, el día antes de ayer, o en español colombiano, antier. Right? So the final one is that the pronunciation of the ed verbs changes according to some spelling rules. So in this case, we don't say the verbs played, visited, walked, worked. We need to take in mind some special spelling rules, right? So let's continue with the grammar structures. We're going to analyze it by an example. You can read, you can pause the video to analyze the structure. So we have the affirmative as he enjoyed the flick yesterday. Él disfrutó la peli ayer. In the negative form, we're going to add didn't and the verb changes into present. So he didn't enjoy the flick yesterday. So it means that if you write like this, it's a mistake, right? So be careful with that. Okay, the question is, did he enjoy the flick yesterday? The same, we use did at the beginning and the verb in present. So the short positive is yes he did, that means in Spanish sí, and the short negative is no he didn't, that means in Spanish no. Okay, so this is the minimum that we need to write in English. Also, we have negative questions. So in this case, we have a different example, and we can say, didn't he enjoy English classes? ¿No disfrutó de las clases de inglés? We need to be careful in here in how do we answer. Remember that if he really enjoyed the classes, we need to express a negative answer. But if he didn't enjoy the English class, we can write a negative answer, like this one. No, he didn't. The good part in this topic is that we use did for all the subject pronouns. So we can say did I, did you, did he, did she, did it, did we, did you, did they. Okay, so this is a kind of good part of this topic. The signal words. The signal words, palabras clave o palabras señal, are the words that we use to recognize that we're speaking about simple past. Remember that here we use the time expressions that we were mentioning before. For example, last week, last month, last year, 2 years ago, yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Also, if we listen a question or a comment using did, the auxiliary, it's about past. For example, if somebody asks you, did you eat yesterday? ¿Comiste ayer? So we need to answer in the same way. Yeah, I ate yesterday. Okay, so you need to be careful with this. The key issues. Aspectos clave, conjugation of regular verbs. Remember that this is only for affirmative sentences. So, when you are using regular verbs in affirmative sentences, you must conjugate the verbs in this way. Remember that we need to apply the CVC ending. So if the verb finishes in consonant, vowel consonant, for example in this case stop, we need to duplicate the final consonant before adding ed. So we say here stopped, planned, fitted. Okay, so we duplicate the N and we duplicate the T. When the verb finishes in E, for example in dance, complete, and bake, we only add the letter D. Danced, completed, and baked. Okay, and when the verb finishes in consonant plus Y, we need to change or to remove the letter Y and we add IED. Okay, so cry becomes into cried, fried into fried, try into tried. Okay? So, the famous pronunciation of ed. The pronunciation of words ending in ed depends on the final consonant sound. There are 3 ways to pronounce ed at the end of a word in English, so we can pronounce it as it, as t, or d. Okay, for example, the verbs that finishes in t and d are pronounced as id. For example, wanted, needed. Wanted, needed. Okay, so the verbs that finishes in p, k, f, gh, sh, ch, double s, c, and x sound like t. For example, we don't say helped, we say helped. Looked, sniffed, laughed, washed, watched, kissed, danced, fixed. Also, with the verbs that finishes in L, N, R, G, V, S, Z, B, M, we pronounce it as D. For example, we don't say call it or cadget, we say called, cleaned, offered, damaged, loved, used, amazed, robbed, and claimed. So when we have some other verbs that finishes, for example, in W or Y, we apply the sound D. In here, we don't say follow it, we say followed. We don't say enjoy it, we say enjoyed. We don't say play it, we say played. We don't say try it, we say tried. And we don't say continue it, we say continued. Okay, so that's it. Let's continue with this. This is a irregular verbs list, but this is organized by families. Why by families? Because I took 80 verbs and I organized them according to the family they belong to. If they finish in a similar way, they become into a family. For example, we can have this family that is sweep, swept, swept, sent, sent, sent. So they finish in E and T. Here, this is the family that has a particular infinitive form, and the simple past and participle form are the same. For example, we have win, won, won, lose, lost, lost, make, made, made. We have different families, as you can see. For example, the in and on, sink, sank, sunk, swim, swim, swum, sing, sang, sung, begin, began, begun, and all like that. Okay? So this is a particular and useful way to remember the verbs. And that's all. Let's continue with a simple exercise about this topic. It's about correcting mistakes in the following sentences. So we have the first one. Mary waked up too early today. So what is the mistake in that one? Think about it. So we don't say wake up. We say woke up too early today. Remember that too in this case is like very. Mari se despertó muy temprano hoy. Number 2. She not cleaned the house to prevent coronavirus. What is the mistake in here? Think about it. What is the mistake? Easy. So we don't say not clean. We say did not or didn't. And the verb is not in past, the verb is in present. Yeah, she didn't clean the house to prevent coronavirus. Okay, in the example number 3, we have a question, as you can see. You went to the cinema last night? ¿Tú fuiste al cine o al cinema anoche? But remember that for making questions, we cannot do it in this way. We say, did you, and we don't use went, we use the infinitive, the present. Did you go to the cinema last night? Now, in this way, we have a very good question in English. Number 4. Did she drink the soft drink of the fridge? This is a question. What is the mistake in this one? Think about it. Yeah, the verb. So we don't say did she drink, we say did she drink. ¿Se tomó ella la gaseosa de la nevera? Easy peasy. The final example is why you wear blue jeans in the morning. This is a WH question, but we have a mistake. What is the mistake in this one? Remember that here we need to add did. Why did you wear? We cannot omit the auxiliary verb there, alright? So don't forget it. We cannot omit it even if we use a WH question. So that's it. Thanks for watching, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a like, and goodbye.